Did you know that Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise of all time? Yeah, not many people really know about it. So because Pokemon is so underground and unpopular, I wanted to help spread some awareness about it. And so today I will be using a full team of Pokemon based on Pokemon from Pokemon. What an absolutely brilliant idea. And if you have an idea for a Pokemon team, cool. Subscribe if you're a raging homosexual. Good evening, morning, and afternoon, lovely people. Today I am using a Pokemon team. I'm excited to announce that I'm the first person to ever come up with this idea. This is amazing. This was actually like maybe the best turn one ever. So I'm gonna lead off with my Galarian Moltres. The Dondozo goes for the trick, and I'm like, okay, this is Zoroark, but this is totally fine because they're gonna trick me a Choice Scarf, and then they're gonna get the Choice Scarf, and I'm just gonna go for the Fiery Wrap. I'm running a Choice Scarf Galarian Moltres, and I just one-shot the Hisuian Zoroark. What an amazing lead. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this team is based on Pokemon that look like Pokemon, right? So Galarian Moltres is shiny, looks like Moltres. Special thank you to Squingle for this team idea. Now, I highly recommend you watch this entire video in full because I'm using two different teams of Pokemon. Wow, amazing. My opponent is also using a team of Pokemon. I just realized. That's crazy. But you should absolutely stay and watch both battles. I guarantee you'll get some amusement out of them. So, I have this Mewtwo. This Mewtwo is based on Mew. That's why it's called Mewtwo, right? So since I'm using a Mewtwo, I wanted to do some fun moves on this. So I have a Nasty Plot Confusion Mewtwo. The set is amazing. I do so much damage to the Clodsire. Actually, I'm pretty sure from the damage, it's more than likely especially defensive. This Pokemon was so annoying. Oh my gosh. So they're gonna go for the Recover. I anticipated that they would maybe go for an Earthquake. So obviously, I'm not going to stay in. I'm running a Choice Scarf Moltres. I also have Terra Blast Fire on it because it's based on Moltres. So into Flareon. Now, Flareon is based on Eevee, but fluffier. Wow, go figure. So I wanted to take the Toxic, and thankfully they do go for Toxic, which is nice because I have Guts on this Flareon. So this is a pretty interesting Flareon set. I'm running a Flame Charge Last Resort set. So Last Resort is a move that you use when you're on your last resort, basically. Wow. But basically, Last Resort only works if you decide to use up all of your moves, basically. So I have only 2 moves on this, so I would be able to use Last Resort as fast as possible. And I have Terra Normal on this. I didn't really want to Terrasilize right away, though, because I wanted to save my Terra for another Pokemon that I had. So Last Resort does some big damage. It almost misses out on the KO on the Clodsire. But then I thought, I have Normal Gem Swift on my Mewtwo. It's amazing. And I thought, well, is it in range of Normal Gem Swift to take it out? I'm not sure, but I kind of want to go for it and see if I can get the KO on this Clodsire. So going for the Normal Gem boosted Swift. Look at the Swift Mewtwo. No, it just misses the KO. Oh no, and now they're going to go for the Recover. Oh my gosh, this thing is so... It's so tanky. I should have just went for the Confusion, but I can't say no to a Swift KO. Who's ever gonna go for a Swift KO with Mewtwo? I also have an Icy Wind on that set as well for just that amazing coverage. So going for Iron Leaves now, I wanted to include at least one Paradox Pokemon on this team, considering that, you know, all the Paradox Pokemon are based on the Pokemon counterpart that I guess they're based on. Good English. And I really wanted to use Iron Leaves because I really like the Paradox Swords of Justice. In my opinion, I like them more than the original Swords of Justice. I just like the the future Paradox Pokemon a lot, actually. Maybe that's a hot take, but I really like Iron Leaves. And when am I ever going to be able to use an Iron Leaves in a video? So this is a Swords Dance Booster Energy Speed Iron Leaves. It's a Swords Dance, Psyblade, Leaf Blade, close combat set with Terra Fighting. So I'm finally going to take out the dang Clodsire. Thank goodness that Pokemon was so bulky for me. But in comes the Paldean Tauros. Now, they're intimidating, dropping me. I assume that they're like a maybe physically defensive set, and I don't want to get burned by a Will-O-Wisp. So I'm actually going to... No, I'm not. I can't get burned. I'm poisoned. Oh my goodness. But they actually swap out into Dondozo, so maybe they wanted to try to Toxic Stall me. I actually look like a demon for swapping in Magneton, but this Magneton, first of all, Magneton is based on 3 Magnemites, if you didn't know. Second of all, I'm running a physical Magneton. Look at that damage. That was just amazing. So yeah, this is probably like a physically defensive Tauros, especially since it's like a Rocky Helmet set. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna swap in my Mewtwo. I'm not sure what this is gonna go for. Maybe they're gonna go for like a Raging Bull or maybe a Fire move. But they're gonna go for the Body Press. Wait, Raging Bull is a Fire move because of this thing. Oh my gosh, I'm recording this video at like 3 in the morning, by the way. So I do tank the Body Press. Confusion, my goodness, Confusion is so weak. It doesn't take out the Tauros, and they're gonna go for the Lash Out and take out my Mewtwo. But I did put this Pokemon in range, and Tauros is very bulky, so I thought, unfortunately, Psyblade does hit Rocky Helmet, which is unfortunate because I'm gonna take some Rocky Helmet chip plus the poison damage. But I do take out the Tauros, which is nice. I don't have to worry about that Pokemon Intimidate shuffling me. Unfortunately, they have 2 insane Pokemon in the back. One of them being this Deoxys attack. So I thought, well, my Magneton, it's really not going to do much in this matchup. I have a physical set with like Gyro Ball, Will-O-Wisp, and like Explosion. And I do tank that, but that's just because I have the Eviolite on this thing. So I'm just going to take 2 Shadow Balls to the face. That's going to take out my Magneton. I figured there's Dondozo in the back was like physically defensive. So into Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu is probably the most iconic Pokemon based on a Pokemon, right? Because it's based on Pikachu. It literally like had this like rag to look like Pikachu because Pikachu is so popular. Even though Mimikyu is like, in real life, Mimikyu is way more popular than Pikachu. It's probably like a top 5 most popular Pokemon. So I'm running a Choice Specs Mimikyu. It's a special set. So I'm going to swap out. The Shadow Ball doesn't do a lot of damage to Dondozo, but I'm thinking that my Mimikyu might actually be a win condition. So the Dondozo goes for the Yawn. I was like, okay, that was perfect for me. Since I'm already poisoned, I'm not going to have the threat of being put to sleep. I also don't want to really swap in my Galarian Moltres much at all because the Stealth Rocks are up. Now, this turn, I thought, I kind of want to go for the Leaf Blade. I almost went for the Psyblade this turn, but I should have went for the Psyblade because Rayquaza is going to come in, and they're easily going to be able to 4 times resist this Leaf Blade, and I thought, well, shoot, maybe they're just going to revenge KO me and go for the Extreme Speed. Should I swap in my Mimikyu then? But I thought, no, I don't really want to do that, so I'm just going to go for the Psyblade. And they do actually stay in and go for the Swords Dance. So I was like, okay, well, thank goodness I didn't swap out, but I'm going to go down to the poison damage, which is totally fine because I still have my Disguise on my Mimikyu. Now, this turn I thought, well, I'm running a Terra Electric Mimikyu, obviously for Pikachu, right? So I thought, you know, I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. I'm not going to Terrasilize just yet because I kind of want to bait out the Terra versus the Deoxys attack just in case they go for the Shadow Ball. So they're going to go for the Dragon Ascent. That's easily going to be able to bust my Disguise. I also didn't want to Terrasilize immediately just because they could have Extreme Speed. They could be bluffing the fact that they don't have it potentially. I don't know if they did, but 2 Thunderbolts is going to be enough to take out the Rayquaza. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. Deoxys is going to come in, and I'm going to Terrasilize this turn. And I have to hope that my Mimikyu can be able to tank a Shadow Ball from this Deoxys attack. And I should be able to take it out with the Terra Electric Thunderbolt, assuming that this Deoxys is not Focus Sash, and assuming that I live this. So they're gonna go for the Shadow Ball. Thank goodness they didn't try to go for like a Psycho Boost, and I take that hit. Thank goodness I take that. I'm gonna go for the Terra Electric Thunderbolt as if I'm an actual Pikachu. I actually take out the Deoxys attack. They weren't Focus Sash. I was like, oh my goodness, thank goodness. The last Pokemon is the Dondozo, or as I call it, Donbozo. And I'm going to go for the Terra Electric Thunderbolt, and that one-shots Dondozo. Oh my goodness. The special Mimikyu went crazy that game. Holy smokes. So that's the end of that first game. If you're enjoying this video, by the way, please feel free to hit the like button. Now, on to the second game. Now, this second team, you know what? I'm just not even going to show the silhouettes to it. You're just going to have to watch and see what this team is. Although, I really wanted to use this Mimikyu, again, because Choice Specs Mimikyu was really, really fun to use. And obviously, it's based on Pikachu. And Pikachu is like the face of Pokemon, right? So I had to include it on this team as well. So, going for the Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam, this is the exact same set. And it's going to be able to 2-hit KO the Miraidon. Now, they are going to break my Disguise with the Electro Drift. But I thought, that's fine. As long as I outspeed and go for another Dazzling Gleam, I should nab a KO, which I do on the Miraidon. So, this Mimikyu is just taking out legendaries. It's amazing. So in comes Lugia. I thought, yeah, I'm not staying in on this because Lugia is just such a bulky Pokemon. So I'm going to swap in my Pikachu. Now, Morpeko and a bunch of other Pokemon are essentially Pikachu clones. And so they are based on Pikachu in a way. So that's why I chose Morpeko for this team. So I'm going to go for the Protect. I want to go for the Aura Wheel while the Electric Terrain is up. And I unfortunately swapped in on Earth Power. I was hoping they would go for like a Psychic move or maybe even an Aeroblast, so I resist. So going for the Aura Wheel, holy smokes, calm down, Morpeko. Oh my goodness, it's as if I have a Light Ball on this thing. Oh wait, I do have a Light Ball on this set. But Light Ball, obviously, it only works on Pikachu. Wait, I am a Pikachu. What am I saying? So obviously, I had to have Light Ball in the set. So Okie Dokie comes in, and I thought, you know what, let's fling the Light Ball, because when you fling a Light Ball, it always paralyzes. And I thought, well, getting a paralysis off of this Okie Dokie is going to be okay, because Okie Dokie is a very, very bulky Pokemon. It's also a very green dog. So they're going to go for the Drain Punch. That's easily going to take out Morpeko, but I did get off the paralysis on this Okie Dokie. Now, like I mentioned, this Pokemon is very, very bulky, so I really needed to weaken it. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to bring in my Mimikyu here and try to get as much damage as I can with the Choice Spec Shadow Ball. Maybe I can get a full paralysis. Unfortunately, it doesn't get full parried, and they land the Gunk Shot too. I was like, wow, okay, well, that easily just eviscerates me, unfortunately. So I'm going to bring in my Pikachu, which is my Pachirisu. I promise this team is not just all Pikachu clones, by the way. Unfortunately, I missed my play rough on the Okie Dokie, and what's worse is that I get crit. Oh my god, my poor Pachirisu. I had a physically sweeping set on this. That just had, oh my gosh, I just got eviscerated. So I'm going to bring in my next Pikachu, which is Raichu. This Pokemon is basically just Pikachu, but bigger. Oh my gosh, I even have Volt Tackle on this. That's supposed to be Pikachu's signature move. So thankfully, the close combat defense drop allowed me to take them out with the Volt Tackle. Now, this was a pretty interesting turn of events. So, Ogerpon Hearthflame comes in. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go for the Substitute. I wonder what this Ogerpon would do. I'm trying to scout to see if they would go for an Ivy Cudgel, but they go for the Swords Dance. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I'm running a Substitute Focus Punch Raichu on this team with Volt Tackle, and I also have Endeavor on this team. They go for another Swords Dance. I was like, oh my gosh, they probably don't think I have anything to touch them with. But this Focus Punch, it's going to do a lot of damage to this Ogerpon. So going for that Focus Punch, oh my gosh, it's a clean 2-hit KO on this thing. I was like, that's perfect, because they're going to have to attack me, and that's going to break my Substitute. But I should be able to get off a strong Focus Punch and take out this Ogerpon. And you know, that's going to be really nice, because this Pokemon is obviously a huge threat. So going for, I also have an Air Balloon on this set, by the way. I'm going for the Focus Punch, and that is going to be enough to take out the Ogerpon. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Focus Punch Raichu just put in that amazing work. So in comes the Kyurem Black. I was like, oh my gosh, this Pokemon. I'm just going to go for the Endeavor, try to get as much damage as possible. I didn't really want to go for a Substitute just in case they were Icicle Spear, because that would have broken my sub and it would have taken me out. So into my Kilowattrel. Now, Kilowattrel is based on Pikachu, except that Pikachu was a bird, because it has the same colors as it, right? So unfortunately, I missed my Hurricane. I'm running a Blunder Policy, a Kilowattrel with like Thunder, Hurricane, and like Electro Ball. It's pretty interesting, but Kyurem Black is going to go for the Outrage, and oh my goodness, I just get smoked. No, I'm down to my last Pokemon, but thankfully my last Pokemon is Pikachu, which is Arceus. But Arceus, you know, it's kind of based on Pikachu, right? Because it has like, it's an electric type, it has the red on it, you know, that's what Pikachu has. So Arceus is basically Pikachu at the end of the day. So this was pretty crazy set on this team. So like with the Mewtwo in the last battle, I wanted to nerf this Arceus, and so I have a first of all, I have Surf on this because it's surfing Pikachu. And second of all, how many times have I said Pikachu, by the way, in this Pokemon team? I'm surprised I haven't said Pokemon as much as I said Pikachu. So my Pikachu is a Charge Beam, Icy Wind, Magical Leaf Surf set. It's an all-out offensive Arceus, or I mean Pikachu. And I take out the Kyurem Black, but unfortunately there were Quasars left, and I thought, they still have their Terra in the back. And even if they're Terra Dragon, I don't think an Icy Wind is going to take them out. Or if they're like Terra Flying. I'm thinking that they're Terra Steel. But they're Terra Stellar. I was like, Oh my goodness, that was literally the best possible Terra they could have been. I've never been more happy to see a gay Quasar, because I could go for the 4-time super effective Icy Wind. That takes out the rank Quasar. Oh my gosh, what even was this battle? What even was this video? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed both of these teams. I hope you enjoyed Pokemon, because I like Pokemon and no one has ever done a Pokemon team before. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.